My dudes, I almost didn't go live today, and it was just out of respect for everything that's going on right now. And I've seen lots and lots of stuff on social media where people are, I don't know, making posts that are out of what they would normally do. All of a sudden, they have a stance on things that they don't normally have a stance on. And it got me just a little bit bothered where I'm just like, there's a lot of bad stuff going on, and most of the time nobody's even talking about it. They're not thinking about it. They're not really doing anything to help anybody but themselves and promote what they have going on. And I kind of didn't want to be a big part of that. I also didn't want to be out of my norm, which is trying to help a bunch of people and trying to talk about things that I don't like and trying to change things regardless of any individual characteristics of people or what they look like or anything. And so the point of this black screen right now is just to kind of give a second and be like, are you posting things on social media right now that have nothing to do with how you normally feel? Because I'm not. I think I just want to keep on putting out a message about helping each other and about, like the name of the title of this video, being a light in the darkness. And when everybody's always super negative and focused on themselves and what they don't have and what things are not going their way, I just know that it's way, way, way harder for a whole lot of other people other than me. And in most cases, there's always somebody that's got it worse. So I absolutely wanted to just start this off out of 100%, 100% respect for the fact that way bigger issues are being addressed right now than what I normally talk about. Custom lights, things that are fun and kind of not very important overall, but I did still want to come through with some value with you guys and talk with you and spend some time with you. So I'm going to go ahead and just say that this is all important stuff that's happening right now. And the US is not the center of the universe. So if you're in another country and you're watching this, I get why you're kind of like, oh no, not another one. But here it is, a guy who's been blessed with so many good things. And I don't want to take away from that by saying like, oh, just ignore it. Just go on with, business as usual. Because it's not usual. But at the same token, there's other things that I don't want to see continue that are messed up. And one of those things has to do with the lighting industry and learning lighting and teaching each other and helping each other out. So with that, this lens cap is coming off. We're going to do another live stream about lights. And I do want you guys to be a light in the darkness because most people just want to kind of keep a lid on all this important stuff that they've learned, not helping anybody but themselves. And I'm not one of those dudes. So without further ado, what up, boys? I didn't mean to be dramatic there or anything, but I honestly didn't want to come off as completely full of myself. I already am that, right? But there comes a point where it's like, am I going to pretend that things aren't absolutely wild in the world right now? No, absolutely not. And then do I have a bunch of advice on how to fix everything and blah, blah, blah? Yes, but only in my tiny little niche, my tiny little sliver of the world do I have any answers for anybody. And that's the lane that I stay in, and that is the lane of custom lights. I actually shot a thumbnail with this little connector here, and I was like, I don't know. I think I just wanted to at least be like, I don't know. I'm the guy that's always like, there's a pink elephant in the room, by the way. I don't want to not address that. I like to go head on with things, and I'll go head on with this. My area that I should be talking about is right here on this bench. Talking with you guys, trying to help you out. I love all you guys. You're dope. And you're trying to help yourselves and learn and do cool things and be part of a dope little group. So I'm all about it. Adam Board says Christopher President. Yeah. I've got a whole bunch of stuff that I'm teaching based on me screwing up. So I generally don't think that we should vote a president based on how many times he has screwed up and recovered. We'll keep that to like, I don't know, people that write books and things like that on experience, as opposed to like, when I was a president, I screwed up in this and that, so let me teach you how to be a better president than I was. I don't think that translates. But in the case of running a business for a long time, that I didn't realize for a long time, I had done certain things the right way, but I was looking around at other people and what they had and thinking, maybe because I don't have that thing, or I don't have that thing, maybe I should do it their way. Maybe when this guy pitches me on like how he can help me big time and how it's going to make me more money, maybe he's right. And realized that there was a whole bunch of stuff that I was doing awesome and I shouldn't have changed it. But I took advice from stupid people based on things that they had that I didn't have, that I didn't even have any clue if those things would make me happy or not. I chased things down that I shouldn't have. I got those things and they didn't make me happy. And I went back to what did make me happy. And talking to you guys absolutely makes me happy, which was why today there's no way I wasn't going to do a live stream and talk and hang out and do what I always do, which is not just be like, oh, this is trending, or this is what everybody else is focused on right now, but just kind of doing me, this tiny little lane. So absolutely not trying to offend anybody by doing that. But I also want to just pump out value regardless of what's going on in all the way more important things in the world, which is basically everything in comparison to talking about building custom lights. But it's a dope little thing that brings me joy. I hope it brings you joy. I know that you guys show up every day and are part of this live stream because it's got to do something positive for you. So let's carry on. Let's make a live stream happen. Just want to greet everybody in here. Marine Customs. Okay, VP, then. Yeah, how about let's not have me do anything more than where I fit into the world. I don't know. I will tell you how to talk on camera and be yourself. I'll tell you how to be authentic. That's easy. Just be you, and don't get freaked out about the fact that there's a weird little lens looking at your face. It's the best version of people when they're being themselves. They're the funniest. They're the most, I don't know, likable. I have seen so much stuff I don't like over the last couple days of people where I'm like, bro, you do not have that stance. You don't care. What are you doing? Why are you even talking about this? You know what I mean? Like, what are you helping? I feel that way so much right now when I look around and I'm like, is this for views? That's disgusting. Is this for like pats on the back? Like, oh my God, what are you doing? Help people. Just friggin' help people. Stop trying to be everybody's hero or get pats. I don't know. And I honestly think that every day of the week. It has nothing to do with what's happening right now. It has everything to do with just people being fake. So that is, I don't know. I bought a domain name a while back because I was just grossed out by thinking of how many people just act their way through all this stuff, and they're not going to be, I don't know. They're not going to be who they really are, and they're not going to give any value. They're just going to kind of fake it and front like they know something about a subject that might make them money. Ugh. So anyway, I was like, I don't want people to be acting. You could be a little bit more energetic, but you shouldn't be acting. So I ended up buying notactingclass.com. that'll come to life later. Anyway, yes. So JP Customs in the house. We've got Alex Smith in the house and Lackey Singh. We've got Jake Garforce II. Who else do we got in here? Got my boy Jay at Sinister Retroworks, Corso Motion. Big Al, of course. Holding it down in Trinidad and Tobago. Yep. So, anyway, you guys are all awesome. I love that you're here. Alex Smith says, I love you and your work so much. This is a hobby. I want to get into it, and you are the single best outlet for information. Keep it up. I'm following in your shoes, gangster. Way to go. Way to, I don't know, do something different. It's definitely not a thing. If you do this as a hobby, protect that hobby. Don't go trying to squeeze every ounce of profit out of it, because that will quickly make you lose your enthusiasm and passion for it. On that subject, let's check our cameras. That one with a big old fat no. Ugh. Come on, baby. Turn on. What about this one? Got that one. That's good. So we are going to do some programming in a bit. My boy DJ Boom, who I think is probably sleeping or something, I don't know, he made some cool animation files, so we're going to look at those. We're going to load them onto these taillights. I had to make a file yesterday, or not a file, but I made a wire harness for these yesterday, and something kept happening that I wasn't liking, so we're going to talk about that in a bit too. I've been buying a bunch of these waterproof connectors, and sometimes a part of them snaps off, which in this case didn't really present a problem, but it still snaps. I like that, but I don't want things that break. So I am going to be doing some of the little barrel connectors that are threaded, and that's going to happen on probably Saturday. I think that's when they're supposed to show up. We will see. John Paul says he's lurking. Lurking, posting, whatever. It's all good. I'm just happy that you guys are here. And I had a conversation with JP yesterday, which was very interesting about the whole subject of building lights, and I got a message from somebody that wants to do what JP does, and I think that's admirable to want to do cool custom work like this, but I want to have a conversation with you guys right now before I dive into this a little bit more too. And it's on the subject of, if you are doing this to make money, then do you think that you should chase everything down? Because every time I talk to anybody that does really over-the-top crazy stuff, Sinister's one of them, JP's another one, there's quite a few guys that have just done incredible amount of work. Luke at Headlights Northwest, these guys have done some of the coolest, craziest work ever, and it hurt them. Not in education, that's cool. They paid in that regard with their time, which is fine. But overall, just there's like a tax to doing stuff that's absolutely crazy. So I do kind of want to put it out there. You guys that are doing this as a hobby, I envy you. It's so dope. That's so cool. Sinister says I'm swapping out the connectors on the Blue Ghost to barrel connectors. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because you got different connectors that are coming in and out of contact or something like this that I've been using for a good long time, and I'll continue to keep these. It's not a bad thing. Wow, we just lost our camera. So that is, I guess, one reason why we're going to turn these headlights around right now and start working on them as I swap the battery on that camera. Good times. Okay. So we're going to see the work of the infamous DJ Boom. I want to finish up what I was saying right now on a strong note, and it's this. Instead of making lights like this that are super crazy, they've got all the different little parts in them that are custom made. You can reach out to different companies like LEDs here that made these parts for me, and these are great. Very last of these ever, I know just went to sold to DJ Boom. That's to refund another guy that wanted out, and so he gets his money back, and DJ Boom gets his taillights. And then we've got the last that I'll actually produce is for DJ Boom, and we've got my man that is also going to get these with the clear lens on them as well, which he's been waiting for an absolute crazy long time, and that's Brian Wong. So Brian will kind of get the last of the clear set. DJ Boom gets the last of these. And none of that stuff needed to be done as a money-making thing for me, because there's so many other things out there that make better money. Like, look at this little drop-in part. This is a sea light for a Subaru WRX. So those three things that I just talked about, thousands and thousands of dollars, right? Craziness. Lots of uphill battle, lots of cost to be able to do it. But this you can just buy and drop into any light and actually make good money and do it over and over and over again, and have 30 or 40 or 50 guys out there that are pumped on the work that you did for them, and you don't have to mess with all the other crazy stuff. So if you're trying to make money, don't go down the process of custom designing things and chasing it down and working with people around the world to be ultra patient with you, because I could tell you it doesn't work 90% of the time. The tiny little percent of the time that it does work, it's because you got these angels like Richard Slush HD and DJ Boom and Brian Wong. Those guys, you don't find those guys. Never. It takes miracles to find those guys. Let me get a battery really quick. Come on, dude. Come back. That thing hates my guts right now. It's like, you left me on all that time, and now you want me to keep working? I don't think so. See if I could fix it really quick, and then we'll... Oh, there it is. We're good. I didn't know. I think I accidentally turned it off when I was trying to see if it would come back to life. And here we are, boys. Autofocus doing its thing and all. So let's see if we can hook up DJ Boom's little files that he set here. I think now that we've got past the point of me talking about more serious things, I think we can safely turn on some tunes. And we could start playing around with stuff. Now, I am going to mess with the quad hands today. And it should be good. So these little guys that DJ Boom sent me are amazing. They're gonna make it simple for me to solder up the little connections that I need to do on this. And they're also going to hold everything into place. Like, I think soldering some of the connections that I need to do, because I have to add a connector onto the back of this before we can play. They make it easy because I can hold the solder right here. I can hold the actual part on here. And then I could literally just line them up. Just hold this little solder piece, the soldering iron to that. We're gonna do that right now. Okay, so let's strip these wires. Then we're gonna find some DJ Boom files, load them all up, and go to town. So how are you guys doing? Where are you at? Tim Shields, you missed like the whole Serious Note intro and all that thing. But it was real. It's true. It's from the heart. Didn't really say anything important, but when do I ever, right? It's very on brand today. Okay, so I'm going to hold these with two different hands on our good friend, Mr. Quad Hands. For those of you guys that are just starting off, man, is this a killer beginner tool to buy. Jay, how much is this thing? Let's talk about it. And how long ago did you buy it before you sent it to me? And how many projects do you think you worked on with it? Now, that's a lot of questions, but I got a lot of questions. That's how we get a lot of answers around here. Tim, you'll want to go back and watch the beginning later. That's funny. I agree. I think it just gives at least some sort of little bit of positioning. Sinister says he thinks it was about $40 on Amazon. So Quad Hands right here is my replacement for this. This I've had for probably 20 years, 15, 20 years. This thing is a piece of crap. It's also the most common thing that people have. I don't know why I have a magnifying glass. I very rarely use it. I kind of did actually when I was doing the Corso Motion hand soldering stuff, which I don't suggest for anybody. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. But the Quad Hands does such a better job, and it makes me feel good about myself when I use it. Seriously. Like I feel like a guy who has the right tools, which is a great deal. Just makes it so easy to think through. I think a lot of this stuff comes down to being able to see what your what your goal is in front of you and then just blast it away, which is a very difficult thing for me when it comes to making these videos and doing a lot of the stuff that I do, because you can get very caught in the weeds. You kind of get so focused on what's right in front of you that you stop looking at the overall picture. What's the goal here? I like things like this because it's so simple, and I don't get to do it that much anymore because it's too simple. It's like, I just have to sit here and solder for 6 hours because that's what I'm supposed to do. Like, nope. What I'm supposed to do is way more complicated than that now. And just getting to like nerd out on a project like this, it's actually, for me particularly, it's like soothing. I'm like, oh man, I just get to sit and solder stuff. That's awesome. Now this is something that was crazy difficult to do. I'm gonna change the view and show you guys. So on the back of these GTR lights, we've got a lot of stuff that's going on now. We've got all the internal wiring has been routed to do certain stuff, and then we've got the actual wires coming from the inside here. We've got a turn signal wire that I'm actually going to tap into our factory wire, so that I actually have to pull back out down the bottom. And then we've got our wires that are going to go to the connector right now, and then we've got our programming wires, and these are going to be what we use to change up the animation so that we can have the other taillight doing cool little dances, just like the one that I accidentally shut off. Wow. So that can do its thing while I'm working on this next step. And tell me how you guys are doing too, because I want, I'm curious how things are in your area. Obviously, if you're international, things are going to be a little bit different than they are out here. But there's been quite a big, I don't know, like a big change from place to place. Some people are watching the fires and seeing smoke in the sky in their backyards, and other people are super insulated and not really feeling anything from it. We had a curfew last night where you couldn't be out past 6 o'clock. Southern California was pretty locked down last night. It was very different. Oh yeah, so like I've asked many times, but I haven't today, comment where you're watching from. There's been quite a few different new guys that pop in here from time to time. I keep telling them about the squad and all that stuff, and basically telling them about you guys. You guys are awesome. And there's been quite a few guys that from like Al's area, Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm like, wow, I don't know what it is that's getting them to find me, but however it works, I'm down with it. I will help any who choose to watch. You're welcome into my Facebook group as long as you agree to not be a jerk, which many people don't agree to, and then they get the invite taken away. Bro, anybody see me completely botch this? That was ridiculous. The wire's so hot right now. It's like just not. Okay, we are nice and connected now. That took forever. Get these two guys covered up. Let me explain what I'm doing really quick for those of you guys who don't do soldering. I added a little dab of solder to each of these wires. There's already some on these wires here. And then I'm going the blue wire in this connector to the green one, the orange to the yellow. Okay, and then We slide the heat shrink over, and that just kind of bonds these two wires together perfectly. Literally, it kind of puts a layer of metal in between them. So they're like one wire now. Heat shrink just covers that up instead of using tape or something. So now these, when my man goes to install them on his car, this little connector goes to the wire harness that's inside, and then he can turn everything that he needs on. Let me mute my mic real quick. Okay, so now I can actually plug this guy in to the other connector that I have here. Whoa, come on, buddy. Or not. Jacob's watching in Sweden. What's up, Jacob? Let's take a look. There we go. That's really hard to do looking at the screen. All right. Power and ground, and then I'll turn these back on. Then we'll start updating some files. For those of you guys that were members that were wanting me to go live yesterday or thinking that I would, mainly because I said I would, we had slightly disastrous meltdown situation involving children and juice and milk all in the back seat of my wife's car. Needless to say, she showed up, and the rest of the day became much less about custom lights and much more about cleaning up after crazy messy kids. All right, so we got our remotes dialed, so let's make some changes really quick. Ooh, look at that. I don't have a Chris cam. How we doing? In focus, we are. All right, so I just told the little remote controls to be dialed in. So we've got two different buttons here that both work. And now we're gonna make some changes to the lights by hopping into the files from my guy DJ Boom. And while I look for those, just let the little squad thing roll. Of course, Emotion says, oh my. Josh says, oh, and Josh, by the way, you've asked about bikes, and you sent me a message saying you've got a ton of bikes. And so you should get really good at this stuff and be the bike guy. Your question a second ago, ever use the low heat solder butt connections that are like heat shrink with the ring of solder on the inside? Tried my first one yesterday. We'll see how it goes. Cool, right on. He got that heat gun in silent mode. Yeah, he does. It's called the Go XLR. I love this little sound control thing. So, but yeah, like Josh, you asked me about bikes. I never do bikes. I'm never gonna do bikes. So it's pretty simple. Somebody should be the bike guy. It's not me. And your guys' answers to the questions, before I start diving in here, was Neotone says, I'm in Colorado. DJ Boom says, what up, buddy? We're gonna find your files right now, Mr. DJ Boom. Hey, where did you send those to, by the way? Was it email? Because I'm about to pull them up. Adam says that he's in Royce City, Texas, like Dallas, Texas. And Adam says Dallas is crazy, but not as bad as some other cities. Yeah, it's pretty wild in lots of places. All right. Last but not least, where's my other guy at? Oh, I think we already answered that. We got my dude in Sweden. Very cool. Okay. So Jake says, so I'm about 4.5 minutes behind, but I'm in the origin of all this US stuff about 18 miles from Minneapolis, and my folks are even closer. Man, that's the gnarly. Yeah, so it's probably hard to see the point in doing, like, focusing on like hobbies and little custom work and stuff like this while there's real big things happening around. But like, I don't know, at the end of the day, if this is bringing you any sort of like joy or satisfaction, you're learning, you're doing cool stuff, then I mean, I don't see that there's a big downside. I think it's good to be working on yourself at any given time, so dive right in. I'm gonna look for DJ Boom's files real quick. We're gonna see if we can find them. I think he said that they are in Facebook, so I'm gonna look there first. Let's see, Mr. Boom. Let's see. I have some really cool video files. Let's see. Let's check some email from Mr. Boom.
The grills in my mouth double as a freeze rate. The grills in my mouth double as a freeze rate. The grills in my mouth double as a freeze rate. The grills in my mouth double as a freeze rate. The grills in my mouth.
I see nothing. DJ Boom, where's your files at, bro? Let's look in Sequential Squad. Maybe they're there. Let's see. Tim Shield says, which GTR tails are we using for the contest, 24 or 23? And Jake is right, you are doing 24 for the contest. Let's see. Okay, so I've got no DJ Boom files for... Let me just show you guys what he sent me in a message, which was this absolute craziness. I think it's freaking cool. Look at that. So that's nuts. Vincent, my man, I'm happy to have you here. I would rather honestly watch videos on YouTube or work on my hobbies than turn on the TV. Me too, man. It's just tough. Especially right now, like I'm wanting to really do a good job for you guys and put out a bunch of value and share, and I just love seeing all this stuff. I mean, this is my guy coming up with signals in the Netherlands for lights that I'm assembling in California to ship to them across the world, and we've got people working on all these files and making all these changes and sharing and helping out each other, and then everything else is falling apart around us. Crazy. I will say this, look how freaking perfect those circles are. My dude went through and totally just fixed those things up. Like, DJ Boom making his own stuff. Dope. So stoked on that. So excited. And on behalf of me, Slush HD, and anybody else who has the option to ever have these animations, sick work, bro. So good. So good. So yeah, I have no idea where his files are at. I can't find them. And I don't know where he's at. At FlyRyde, will DJ run the 2015 and up or the pre-facelift? So he's actually getting like these exact lights that are in front of me right now, except these ones have the outer animations only, like the files right here on screen. And so this is a 23 channel build, and DJ Boom's is, what is that, 47 channels. My god, he's getting 23 and 24 channel animations in his 2 ghost modules. So nuts. So that's what's happening. He's getting something crazy, and then Brian Wong after him is well, at the same time as him, to be honest, building 3 sets of lights at once. This one is the first of them to go. DJ Boom's next, and Brian Wong's will be either at the same time as his, or I don't know, just kind of depends right now on everything else. With the last one that I was mentioning, Brian's, we're actually doing a clear lens on all of this. So I've got a couple ideas for things. DJ Boom, where's your file at, bro? No, this is not your file. Well, that's your file on the screen, but where did you send me the the GLP zip file because I'm not finding it anywhere. And I want to show it off. But anyway, Brian Wong's has the clear lens on top of this, which means kind of have a couple extra options, things that he may or may not want. I think he's probably excited and wants to just get one of these sets. So Adam Board says, how do we chain together ghost modules so that they stay in sync? They're going to stay in sync based on code, right? So you have a certain amount of milliseconds in the code that is going to keep them exactly on point. So as long as they all get power at the same time, they're all going to start going through those modes. And what'll help big time, especially with doing multiple ghost modules per tail or per headlight, is going to be when we have a total sum of the amount of milliseconds used in that sequence. Because then, even if we add, like, let's just say that we have like 4 ghost modules, right? But there's so many LEDs that we have to have an individual ghost module for like one group of them, and then another module for another group of them, and then we actually have to build our animation file with blank spaces to account for what's happening on like module 2 and module 3 and whatever. So guys have done this. It's definitely difficult for them. Spectrum says, hey guys, sorry I've been so busy out guarding the police station yesterday due to the riots. Yeah, we talked about that. There's a lot going on right now. So the fact that we're here talking about lights is pretty hardcore in itself. So on the subject of doing multiple ghost modules though, I would love to be able to say that, let's say we've got an animation, and on the first ghost module 1, we've only got, like, let's say a total of like 400 steps, right? And then on ghost module 2, we have an additional 400 steps. And then ghost module 3, we've got like 200 steps. Let's just say that, right? So that would mean that we have to add all of those steps together, the milliseconds that total each of those individual modules, and then add them all up so that all 3 ghost modules have that exact same time in that one sequence. So you've got the time for the sequence that's happening because of that module, the LEDs it's controlling, plus the ones that need to be blank for the next module, plus the ones that need to be blank for the third module. That's crazy talk. It'd be way easier if we just looked and it was like, okay, well the total for this one is X amount of milliseconds. And then that includes the blank spaces for the extra modules. And then when you hop over to those other modules and you do all the, the turning on of LEDs and everything that they're going to do, all the files should equal the same exact amount of time so that you can run 3 at once and know that they start and they finish that sequence at exactly the same amount of milliseconds. Woo! Hard to say. Definitely hard to say. But yeah, absolutely. Mike, stay safe, dude. Adam asks, Spectrum, are you National Guard? What are you, Spectrum? What are you? Crazy. So, DJ Boom, I'm still not hearing back from you as we're waiting on a response from him and Spectrum. I'm going to just open up our files here so that we can start making some cool changes with his thing in the background that looks awesome. I want to say, let's pull out this one that says non-switchback. Open it up, and I'm going to plug it into the Picket 3 programmer. Let's turn these off. I'm plugging this guy in right now. I'm also digging for more music, so we need that in our life. DJ Boom, where'd you go? Mike says, I am a retrofitter. Good man. Good man, Mike. He's a retrofitter. He's an LED-er. Yes. Best of the decade? Best of 2019? I'm with it. A man of many hats. Yes, sir. All right. So, we are loaded. Let's see what happens when we start changing some stuff up. Henrik's Boot, good evening, everyone. Hope you are safe and well. As do I. All right, programming. Let's see what happens when we run this thing on both of them. I don't think we did this yesterday. I am dying to see Mr. Boom's file though. I think it's gonna be the best. And mainly more than anything, I just want to hang out with you guys today. I love that everybody's thanking Mike right now. It's a good deal. So yeah, on behalf of everybody in here, Mike, and the rest of you active duty guys, and you volunteer guys, and anybody who's doing anything of service to their country, thank you, man. Good job. All right, next file. Okay, so this is the same file. It's loading up. That's crazy. See how you can see that there was like 2 little LEDs that were flashing? That's because those LEDs are joined the same channel. Vincent says, I would make a change to DJ Boom, his file, and it's just one channel. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what sucks. Vincent just very intelligently popped the bubble in my brain. That's rough. Okay, so there's not gonna be a way that we can use Mr. Boom's file the way that it was set up. Sucks. Craziness. My brain just went poof. Yeah, so here's the deal. When you make these animation files, it's super interesting to know that you've got different LEDs are connected to each channel. So when we're looking at my dude's file right here in the background, the problem is he's got 18 LEDs on the smaller circle, 24 LEDs on the bigger circle. But all except for 4 of those channels, those LEDs are grouped up in 2 LEDs at a time. Let me explain. Basically, we've got these LEDs where the very first one, like way down here in the corner, that is going to fire up as 1, and then the next channel is going to be the one above and below it as channel 2, and then channel 3 is going to be the one below and above that. So it's all these different groups that come together like this, which is why you have a lot of those Pac-Man animations. Definitely makes it more difficult, because if you've got a 23 channel animation and it's made to go individually, it's not. It's gonna start, and then it's just gonna start doing this weird little like twisting action. I don't know if that makes sense. So that sucks. Yay, there's a tropical storm in the Gulf of Mexico. Sweet. TJ Boom's file's not gonna work, and there's a storm, and there's chaos. So let's just take a look at those files so that we can explain that a little bit further. All right. Boy, my brain just went poof. But I'm actually glad that Vincent brought that up. It's a very, very important thing to be thinking about while all this stuff is going on. So check it out. If we look at channel 1 here, you can see that it's just got the 1 on, and then look at that, now there's 2 on. It's the only way it's gonna work. I'm really jealous of the GLC file though, in DJ Boom's creation. So let's see. WTF 2020. WTF, mate. Hunter says, FlyRyde, I sent you a message on Facebook. Sweet. Should I read it? Is it like a public kind of message? It's like, Chris, you suck. I hate this. Yo. Look at that though. That's Facebook. Alright. Let me read a message on Facebook really quick. Ah. So ruthless. My man DJ Boom asking if I found the messages, and I'm like, no. It doesn't matter. The file won't work anyway. So, Hunter, I don't know where your message is, but I don't see it. But I do know that there have been some member requests in Sequential Squad, again, with no answers to those questions. So that didn't work out for them. Not at all. They got a big denial. Let's make some changes to a couple things. First off, brake. That I really like the look of because it's simple. But maybe what we could do on one of them is, let's do this. Maybe we could just turn off some of the channels so that when you step on the brake, it does a wig-wag. Ooh. Would that be good or bad? What do you think? Outer than inner. As you can see, those channels just going away. That's speed 10. Let's just do the opposite of this one now. So I'm going to get rid of all the LEDs on the big ring on this one, and then we have something to bounce back and forth on. We're just going to make a brake light sequence just to see what happens if we go blink, blink, copy that, paste it, paste after. Actually, this one I'm going to drop the speed to 10. Copy steps, paste after. Then we'll have a little blank spot. Just go solid from there. Okay, I'm gonna see what that looks like. Turn signal, still got this one set up. And this one you guys said that you liked switchback, so let's go ahead and change this to animated switchback. So when we have the brake, when it pops back on to parking light mode, it's gonna do this animation. Pretty interesting. And our turn signal is all on, wipes away. And our show mode is this guy. Which I don't know if I can, kind of just don't think that going on the show mode thing right now is gonna be nearly of as much benefit. So I'm gonna leave that to what you guys have made. I know Vincent's done a lot of this file, so he knows all too well how it works. So I'm just gonna compile this. What are we gonna name it? GTR Live, we're gonna call it 23 channel. And that's it. Just gonna call it that. Okay, I'm gonna load it up, and then we're gonna see what this thing looks like with those brakes. I think it's gonna be cool. All right, we'll turn these off. We're loading. All right. DJ Boom says, okay, Vincent, thanks. Sorry, Chris, I'm on my work. Dude, you do you. You're good. You're already making cool things. I'm so bummed out thinking about how can I make that file work. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I might be able to. I don't know how I would do it. Because I feel like there is enough individual spaces on this one. I mean, I don't know. I think we can make it work. I would have to completely wire his stuff up different. I think we could do it. So let's not count out Mr. DJ Boom. Maybe he can have the amazing thing he made. I'm gonna program this other side real quick. We'll check them. Now the thing that I need to do so that I can even hook this thing up right now, I'll share with you guys here. This is something not a lot of people are going to have, but so this is the OEM connectors. I've got 2 of them. They're made based off of a tailless turn module. So what I've done is I've internally wired these lights to have everything hooked up inside of them, so I could just plug them on into this little harness right here and test everything on the bench, which is definitely what I suggest to anybody that's gonna specialize in one type of light. Make yourself a dope little harness like that. Then you can actually test all the different functions. So let's take a look, make sure that we've got what we should have. Look at that. Boom. So I've got 1 wire to connect still on one of these lights, which is why that turn signal came on. So our center reverse lights are there. And that would mean so you can see one of them has been rewired so that turn signal is getting its signal rerouted to the reverse. The other one has its signal still intact. So we're going to change that up. So this guy right here, it still needs to have the wiring rerouted. So I'll do that in a second here. But what we do have on both of them is the brake lights wired in. So we couldn't even see that. Crazy. Now yesterday, one thing that I did do is I added the relay so that regardless of what we have going on with the brake light flashers, the inner LEDs are going to come on. So taking that into account, let's make some changes to the speed here. I want to really drop the speed down because we're at 10 on those. So let's go to like 30. This can actually be a really long animation because of the fact that we've got the other stuff happening. So I'm gonna try to compile this really quick. Actually, let's do this even better. I'm gonna double up those little internal wigwags first. Let's say copy steps, paste after. Okay, now that's gonna be our brake light, which is a little bit ridiculous, but make it 35. You're so witty. We're gonna save it over that guy. And not having the keyboard on my lap makes everything so slow. Jeez. You know what just happened? All right. See what we can come up with. Please be good. Must be good. I hear my wife in the background. How you doing, wife? She's like, you're gonna be off in 6 minutes, right? I'm like, yep. I can't hear you. I got headphones on, baby. All right, let's see. Let me plug this one in over here. Test these out, and I'm gonna find out if this thing actually looks good with the internals. I don't want to take away from the cool factor by having these outer rings not do something visibly awesome while the internal LEDs come on. So I do think it'll be cool to slow them down a bit, do a little bit more drastic of a turn signal, or I mean of a stepping on the brakes and things happening. Dan Reese, where are the car keys? Dude, you know. How do you know? You like watch my live streams or something, bro? All right, here we go. Brake lights. Oh yeah, that was not the brake lights. I'm sorry. Anticlimactic much? Papa. So you can barely see that. Okay. He says I'm married too. Like I know this situation all too well. She puts up with me. That's all I can ask. Alright. Let's try one more change for the day. I want to see this thing do something dramatic. And I can't really even see it bouncing back and forth. Right? Go 50. You know what? I think actually what we need too. I think we need blank spaces in between. Let's do that. So let's say, let's copy this one. We're just gonna space all this out. Blink, blink, blink. Damn it, I hate when I do that. Sorry guys. So I'm pasting all these little blank spots in between them. Okay, see what that looks like. This time I could just leave it hooked up to what it's already hooked up to right now, and that's gonna make things. Damn it, that's not what I want. You know what I want? I want to talk to Samson. Alright, load, do the thing. Do cool stuff. We must see cool stuff happen. So we can compare left to right on this one before I do it on the other side. Let's go. Whoa. Can you even tell that it's doing? Oh, you can. That's crazy. I like it. What do you think? Ooh, let's see that on the other side now. Now I'm kind of excited. I love these things. What music are we listening to? Go, go, go. I feel good about this one, boys. Crazy. Too much? Too weird? Tell you what. Make one more change. Something came to mind right now. Tim's fancy little twinkle lights on his file might even look better than that. Twinkle lights. Come on, Tim. Where you at, bro? Where you at, Tim? Tim. 2 show mode. Is that it? Okay. I'm gonna just go with that. 24. Yeah, I don't know. Nope. Is that it? Nope. This is it. 2 show mode. Program that one in there. And that's it. We're gonna test. We're gonna end the day on Tim's. Ready? So I was supposed to get to go live and dial the rest of this in. All I got to do instead was just wiring yesterday. Because these are shipping off. DJ Boom, I really want to make the changes to the file. You're fine, dude. I'm gonna figure out how to show yours and make it work. Alright? Because I love you. Ready? Hey. Tim, I think that's way better than the stupid thing I just made. You're awesome. Boom. I'm on the brakes, bro. Hey, still on the brakes. Still on the brakes. Oh, what was that? I looked down. Oh, don't rear end me. On the brakes, bro. Yes. So good. Everybody agree Tim's is better than mine? I don't know. I like the individual pulsating and like the gaps in between the LEDs in the rings. That's universally like spread out across. I think it's so good. Jake, you have like over a week left, bro. You're good. So it officially started yesterday, and it's a 2-week contest. Guys, I'm stoked on that. Tim's file is way better. Yes. So good. Tim, thank you. Mike, thank you. All you guys watching, thank you. So glad we streamed anyway today. Not going to be putting up any different social media posts to draw attention to me, because that doesn't matter. Just want to keep doing what I always do. You guys keep showing up, so will I. All right? So thank you guys all for being here. I'll see you later, members, and the rest of you I will see tomorrow. But basically, the theme of all this stuff stays the same, which is just, I don't know, find your voice, whatever that means for you. This is mine. I talk about lights. It's not the most important thing in the world, but it's what I know. It's what helps people. So I'm out of here. See you guys in the morning. See the rest of you guys later. In the Facebook group, I will be posting up as well. I definitely want to share some of your guys' files. I'm making them. Taking all the vlogs, sticking them on the website right now, and I want to have a bunch of your guys' work, credit given to you as well. Post up your socials, all that good stuff. Denry says, your knowledge is invaluable. Thank you for real. Dude, you're welcome. Thank